Welcome back to Google Cloud Next at 26. I'm Alison Kosik, joined alongside by John Furrier. We've got a great lineup of guests sitting right before us here at theCUBE with Gaurav Syal, the Vice President and Global Head of Google Business, Tata Consultancy Services. Welcome to theCUBE. Amit Kapur, Chief AI and Services Transformation Officer, Tata Consultancy Services. Welcome to theCUBE as well. You know, it's great to have TCS back here on theCUBE, but before we get to the big ideas, I would love to hear first, Gaurav, about the partnership between Tata and Google. What's working? Give us your greatest example.
Sure. So we have a great partnership with Google. We are actually the Diamond partner, which is the highest tier partner that Google can have. Having said that, we have also, as you can see, where is it? We have also won 5 awards. And these 5 awards are a great testament of us working together, us co-innovating, co-selling, co-creating the solutions. And to be fair, at times, co-arguing as well, what is best for the customer. And these awards are actually great because one of them is the agent development, and the world is talking about agentic AI. Second, we heard the keynote as well today. The second part is about the security, which is the backbone, backbone of AI, data, cloud. So we have won an award for security as well. And last but not the least, for talent development, which is where we are #1 competency partner for Google. So great partnership going on between us. One thing I'll also add on to it, we are also the customer zero for them, for Gemini Enterprise.
Yeah.
So for 30,000 odd people, Gemini Enterprises we have implemented. And it's like drinking your own champagne, as they say. So we want to test it out internally in TCS first before we go and sell it to the customers, tell them what is working, what is not working. So it's been going great.
Well, congratulations on the awards, and awards plural, many of them.
Yeah.
It's been a great run this year. I got to say, from last year to this year, lots changed. Gaurav, talk about the AI piece too, because we have, Amit, the AI is everything, and the enterprise is hot again. Last year was a lot of excitement, enthusiasm, strategy was clear, infuse AI in your business, execution, pockets. But with agentic infrastructure coming out, that's going to unlock all that data. What is your strategy? How do you work with Google? What's going on with the rollout of how people are thinking about the agentic? We heard from Google, full stack, security, the Gemini, the orchestrator, all coming together. Give us the state of the market. Give us their take.
Sure. So I think if you look at the last 12 to 18 months, you're absolutely spot on. From a lot of use cases, experimentation, to wanting to scale it enterprise-wide, possibly to the world of agentic, and we see a lot of promises, a lot of excitement towards that. I think what we are clearly seeing as a pathway is when we reflect back on our own ambition. We publicly announced that we'll be the world's largest AI-led tech services organization. And towards that, we are clearly seeing the pathway to scaling enterprises across customers, across employees, across partners. And without a partnership ecosystem, it's very tough to fulfill the promises that one makes. And our presence here at Google Next 2026 is an example of that. Our partnership with Google dates back. Gaurav just mentioned about what we are recognized for this year, as well as what keeps us busy, both as customer zero, as well as deploying it at scale for our customers as well.
The world has changed. I was joking before we came on about Claude and Gemini. I wrote a post on LinkedIn that went viral. I was just trying to do a keynote, a summary preview. It's not about the models. It actually had control plane in the title, which I never put the jargon in the title, but the control plane is the game. How do you guys deal with this? Because we hear from customers and your customers and partners, I just figured it out and then it changed. The speed is so fast, sometimes people get paralyzed. Organizations are trying to transform. I know it's a nuanced point, but explain this dynamic and how you guys are handling that both at Tata and with customers who can potentially maybe get paralyzed by the sheer velocity of the market.
I think if you just pivot it to the word of context. Everything and anything that one does as an enterprise is in the line of enterprise context for their customers, for their employees, for their ecosystem in which they operate. You can run a Formula 1 at 301. You can also do it at 301.1. It's a choice you make. Do you want to be in that race of point one, or do you want to do it structurally right for your enterprise for the long run? What we are seeing as partnership with customers is that everyone is moving away from the phase of experimentation of use cases to say that, can I fundamentally shift the workflows and processes? Can I get a different path of value and a proof of value demonstrated at scale? We are doing it across 5 tranches. Gaurav spoke about being a customer zero. We ourselves took a promise that anything and everything that we do will be reimagined on the back of AI and not sprinkled.
Yeah.
So we are putting a bet exactly where it matters and not sprinkling it. Talent is an equally important subject, so we are doubling down on what the future of talent and the talent of future will look like. Fourth is...
What does it look like? Tell us what it looks like. And we're trying to figure it out.
I think while it's an evolving situation, one thing is clear, that the ability to drive context will drive the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gaurav, I mean, part of it is just deploying the technology. That's the half of it. And so how is Tata managing this sort of massive cultural shift when it comes to transitioning to an AI native operating model?
Yeah, that's a very valid question, because AI right now is not about technology change. It's about an overall operating model change.
Yep.
And as they say, you can bring a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. So while we have given, just giving an example of TCS, we have given all the tools, all the elements, you said Gemini, you said Claude, everything to our employees and the huge workforce. We are also telling them how to use it. We are also navigating them how to use it and maneuvering them. Just as an example, we do AI Fridays in TCS.
What does that look like?
What it is that it's a, where people will come together, on a Friday evening, and for 12,000 hours in one Friday, they'll come together and solve a real life problem. And because it's not a project that has been given, it's a real life problem, it kind of motivates them. And we have clocked 240,000 hours of AI learning. So it's basically letting them know what's the power of AI, not only giving them the tools, but that cultural shift of making sure they understand how to use it, how to exploit it, and how to make it better for us and the customer.
So this is on a Friday night. Is any beer or wine involved?
It can be with beer and wine as well.
I mean, they're coding on the weekends. They get addicted to it. One of the things that's come up, I'd love to get your thoughts on, is the shadow AI has come up a lot in conversations. And we're starting to see shadow IT, which was once a cloud phenomenon, and that was only in IT. Go around IT departments, get your credit card, get something in the cloud, show your boss, get promoted, start a journey. That was the progression. Not that complex, and not too nefarious. AI, you're seeing it everywhere. I mean, I see CFOs, chief people officers doing their own shadow AI, building dashboards. The AI proliferation, you're having AI days, Fridays. Like Taco Tuesday, and you got AI Fridays. Like, this is a cultural revolution. How does an organization rein this in? Because they can't stop it. You guys are in these rooms. Yeah. What's the story? Well, how do you guys talk to customers about it? Do you let chaos reign in the chaos? What is that prescription from Tata?
See, let me say one thing. AI is actually, we are at an inflection point. So AI earlier was system that converse, and now it's system that act. So it's not only about conversing, talk about generative AI, where it will create let's say a code for you for a product which you want, or a product replenishment in a retailer system. And now what it does as part of Agentic AI is it not only create a code, it goes and negotiate with the vendors. It also check the compliance for it. It also makes sure that the price competitiveness is there, and then kind of fulfill the order. And that's what we have implemented with one of the retailer in APAC. Similarly, for one of the largest bank in UK, what we did was we actually had, let's say 4 or 5 years ago, first had the foundation right. We had their data moved to cloud, which was Google Cloud again. We also created a COE and advisor function for them, told them how to implement AI. And that was AI at that time. Now we are talking about Agentic AI as well. So we actually implemented around 50 plus use cases or business cases, fraud detection, mortgage lending. And with that, they have been able to save $50 million of business value. Not only unlocking the efficiencies, but also, creating new revenue streams. So all of it, coming all together, people are seeing, or customers are seeing the value that agentic AI is bringing in.
I love that number. I mean, this brings up the question of quantification. A lot of people I see organizations have all these experiments and sandboxes and out there, and they're destined to fail because there's no coherency to them. Other ones are really disciplined in picking a workload and an end-to-end workload they understand. I even saw a clever use case where they just implemented a recent project in the past couple of years, the old way, and they just basically replicated it, shadowed it, created a clone, and then they compared the numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's different mechanisms. That gave them fuel to justify, look we just rolled this project, it cost X millions of dollars, we just replicated in parallel with current tools today, green light. How should people be quantifying the results? Can you share any best practices that you guys are using or have seen? Because this seems to be where the execution's hitting right now.
Yeah.
See, one of the fundamental questions when I took over this role 7 months back, in line with what you just said, is most of the enterprise were asking, is AI real? And that was a pivot we made, that this question is essentially a question of curiosity. Yeah. And how to make it real is essentially the pathway that we should travel. Proof of value is one dimension that one can look at it, but the biggest dimension is around change. So when you do things firsthand, you know the power of the tool. And when you know the power of the tool, you see that, okay, it's something which is far bigger. It's an entire shift in operating model, as Gaurav also mentioned. So what we attempted was making AI real for enterprises. For example, 4 of us on this table, all of us are insured. We have had our own chances of claiming insurance, and never ever a pleasing experience.
Yeah.
And whenever there's an experience like this, we always say that there is friction. At every moment in time, we feel the friction, and that friction is a frustration. Today, with the operating model change, is an opportunity for us to make it frictionless, and that's a proof of value.
So you target friction, and what about repeatability?
See, the moment you have a frictionless imagination as an operating model, and you have the change improvised along with the executives, right top-down entire the organization, your ability to scale, your ability to welcome the adoption increases. And that multiplication drives the scaling piece of it.
So to summarize, one, get a win, show the value, make sure you take pain away from people and make their life better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds easy. No, how easy is it? I mean, take us through some of the use cases, because people are trying to figure this out.
It's easier said than done.
Of course.
As I said, see, one thing what you will have to think about is, and we were talking about it, John, earlier, as a common user, yes, you can go right now and do anything on an AI tool. But as an enterprise user, you need to have the right, guardrails. You need to have the right security. And you need to have the right foundation. If you don't have the right foundation, in terms of your data, because AI will work on data. Your agentic AI need to have the right data to make sure that the swarms come together and, do the work for you. So you need to have the right foundation in terms of data, security, guardrails, and then it becomes easy. So it's not that you straight away jump onto it, but you have to have the right foundation to make it fair.
Amit, when making AI real for your customers, after everything you've said, what's the secret sauce?
So I think take the customer on their journey along. Don't necessarily come back with, here is the solution. So what we have attempted to do in the last few quarters is whenever a customer has asked us a challenge on is AI real, we make them block 60 minutes. And those 60 minutes, we make them do things on their own firsthand. And believe me, we do it from CEO, COO, CXO, the entire CXO suite. And one outcome which comes as part of that exercise is, can you do it for my next 200 leaders?
Yeah.
And that drives change.
Yeah.
With that change, given that we know the enterprises, we go back to them saying that we know that you have these 6 challenges. Pick one. It's your choice. Pick any one. Yeah. And we take around 12 to 16 weeks in what we call as rapid build, come back with a production environment of proof of value, and say this works for you. That is a conviction with which an enterprise believes in it, and that gets them to the ability to scale. So immerse yourself with AI, build it with AI, and scale it with AI is essentially the pathway that we travel.
And on the same note, if I may say that for the similar reason, what we have done is we have opened around 7 Gemini Experience Center around the world, out of which one is Physical AI Center, because uh, AI is now coming out of the screen and out of the browser as well. It's physical AI there as well. So it's for the similar reason. People can come there, touch and feel it, can see and convey what the problem is. We give them a rapid prototyping and give them a solution there and then.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the physical AI piece because one of the things that's coming out of this era is the full convergence of digital and physical. Yeah. I mean, any keynote you go to, whether it's NVIDIA, Google, Cloud, there's a robotics angle. That's physical, not the humanoids yet, but they're coming. The human IoT devices that were once in manufacturing are now wearables. So you're starting to see that full edge coming.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that and how you guys see that emerging, because that changes the game. You're going to have smaller models maybe in the edge, smaller footprints. Are enterprises thinking about the edge right now? They're just still working to get their core competency locked in.
I think you have to look at it from a lens of the AI landscape. You can vertically drive it from infrastructure to intelligence, as how we saw it in the keynote as well earlier today. Or you can also look at it a landscape of conversational AI to physical AI, and anything that finds in between as a place to operate. Yeah. And we are seeing the convergence right vertically and horizontally across the entire landscape. Physical AI, given that we started the conversation on that, huge benefit for manufacturers, huge benefit for landscapes which are capital intensive, especially on safety as a case in point. Can I make my environment much more safer? Can it be incident free? I think that's a huge win for any manufacturer, for any facility which is into captive operations. Similarly, we are seeing on customer experience on conversational AI. And anything that you see in between is essentially the models, foundational models, the ability to fine tune them, ability to drive content and context on the back of that.
Well, a lot of Gemini announcements, a lot of orchestration. Seeing, again, I've used the word operating system this year more in my life than I have in my entire career, because everything's an operating system now, whether it's AI factories, agentic control planes, domain expertise. It's a systems game now, and it's full stack. I love that message. Guys, congratulations on the wins.
Thank you.
The partnership.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thanks for stopping by theCUBE and having a great conversation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
And you're watching theCUBE, the leader in live technology coverage. We'll be right back.